What's up guys, I was requested to do a video on the new balance update. There's, some spoilers for what's coming up ahead, and yeah, we're not really here for that, but we are here for the balance. So let's talk about the nerfs, tweaks, and optimizations. Starting with Sasuke motherfucking S. So Lightning Shockwave now deals 20 piercing damage to the main target and 10 to all others, which is up 5 from 15 and 5, but it now costs 1 ninjutsu and 1 random, which is much better. I've been playing with him and I just think he's overall a lot more balanced, and the 2 random AoE with his passive, I don't know, it was just stacking up too much damage too quickly. I still think he's a little bit problematic because I don't like the passive. I just think the way it stacks and the way it loses stacks, how it can only lose 1 stack per turn, I don't know, I just don't think it's good design, but at least it's better than it was before. He's more balanced for sure. Aoba is going to the way he is in Naruto-Arena.net basically, so it is the 1 gen spammable 5 damage, 5 reduction, it lasts for 4 turns, so you just spam it over and over and over again. I actually think this is so much better, especially with the kunai skill he has and the improvement on the damage with the crows. He's going to be a lot more fun. So I don't know if this is actually making him weaker or stronger, but I know for a fact that he's going to be a lot more fun personally for me because I really like him when he has the spammable gen skill. So I'm going to be playing him a lot more, and I think he's going to be pretty good. If you spend any time on the Discord, you'll notice the high level players have been talking about Nadim and how he's broken, how he hasn't been getting changes at all, despite being broken and being seen in super high level top rank matches. So it's cool to see that Dark and the balance staff are paying attention to what's being said in the Discord, because they actually made some changes to Nadim, which is pretty cool. So I kind of disagree with the changes here. Water Collision and Destruction went from 13 to 10 damage, and Bringer of Darkness is now making them invulnerable to physical and mental instead of physical and ranged. I think the Water Assault is the main issue. It's honestly the skill I see get spammed, and the one that has the crazy effect of making you ignore helpful skills, but this will make him less problematic and less strong, but I do think the Water Assault will probably need to be changed later on too. Just, the 15 damage instead of 20 would be all he really needs, but we'll see what this does. They also seem to be realizing they're over-nerfing things and are taking back some of their over-nerfs, which is great to see that they're addressing that shit too. I'm glad they're reading the balance fucking page on the Discord. So Orochimaru got adjusted to 3 turns instead of 2, and then 10 damage instead of 15. But I do think with the affliction increase and overall this skill is just going to be much better at being at 3 turns, and I agree with the changes. I like it. Hiroko's Poisonous Tail Stab is going to deal 15 instead of 20. Agreed. It was too strong. This is good. Right, and this Sasori is going to have Thousand Hands grant 5 destructible defense instead of 10, which is good. It was granting too much. And then Poison Gas is going to grant no destructible defense, which I disagree with. I don't know why they did this. I disagree with that, but I do agree with this Thousand Hands change. So, one good, one bad, whatever. Neji's Mountain Crusher Palm is going to deal 30 damage instead of 35, which is super cool. I have never seen them do well, I have, but it's rare that they do a skill that costs 2 specific chakra and deals 30 damage. But with the 2 chakra removal, I'm glad that they have kept that 2 chakra remove. I love that, and have went for the damage this time. This is good change in direction of doing nerfs. I think they're learning a little bit of how they should be doing these changes and making more informed decisions like this. So this is awesome to see. And then his rotation giving a 10 damage boost instead of a 15 is much better. I think he was always overtuned. They listened to us about Naruto S being over nerfed, and they have reverted some changes, and I like to see this, but I think the change on the QB boost actually is too much. They have given him a prep now that's basically just his shadow clones, but better, and is made, I don't know if it's making regular Naruto obsolete, but it's just too similar to regular Naruto. This design is really sloppy. It's all over the place. And honestly, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, but he needs a rework, man. I hate this fucking design, man. Please, rework him again. This is a failure. And I mean that. So I had a guy leak some of my character designs that were going to be put into the game, which I had a 3 Tails Naruto. A really good design for him that was going to be put into the game that ended up not getting put in because it was leaked. And it got turned into this character, this Naruto-esque that's all over the place, and it just makes me so sad, because, you know what, I'll show you my Three Tails design that was going to be put in 1 second. So first off, he was going to be his own character, and every skill was flowing together. It was one of my, classic designs where it's just good, it just works. There's nothing complicated or all over the place like the current Naruto we have right now. So let me explain the skills one by one, please. QB Slash is going to deal 35 piercing damage to an enemy and stun their helpful skills for 1 turn and deal 10 piercing damage to their allies. Naruto takes 10 affliction damage. If Burning Chakra Wind, which is the second skill was used last turn, this skill costs 1 less random chakra for 1 turn. Burning Chakra Wind is going to deal 35 affliction damage to an enemy and stun their harmful skills for 1 turn. It'll also deal 10 piercing damage to their allies. Naruto takes 10 affliction damage. If QB Slash, which is the first skill, was used last turn, this costs 1 less random chakra for 1 turn. So you would chain QB Slash and Burning Chakra Wind back and forth, reducing the cost of each of them as you chain them back and forth, dealing damage to yourself. The damage you deal to yourself is going to build up for your skill 3 or your skill 4. So you're going to use your built up self damage you've taken from your first 2 skills for either a big AoE offensive option or a defensive option. So your offensive option would be Outrage, which would deal 5 piercing damage and 5 affliction damage to all enemies. It'll deal 10 more piercing damage for every 10 affliction he's taken from the first skill, and 10 more affliction damage for every 10 affliction he's taken from the second skill. It ignores invulnerability, counters, and reflex. Costs 2 random. Alright, so you build up your self damage you've taken to yourself, and you blast it out for this big piercing affliction AoE. Okay, then for the defensive option, for every 10 affliction damage Naruto received from his skills, he's going to heal 5 HP and gain 5% unpierceable damage reduction permanently, and then remove all stacks of affliction damage that he's taken. Okay, so you won't have the increased AoE for your third skill anymore, so you're going to want to use this when it's, the right time to remove your stacks. If you don't want to reduce the damage of your AoE, you probably wouldn't want to use this skill, but if you need the reduction in the healing permanently, you're going to want to use it. And then for 1 turn, he's going to ignore all harmful non-damage effects, and his QB skills cost 1 less random chakra. Come on, guys, this character would just work so much better. It makes me so sad he's not in the game. Alright, Chio's ally puppetry is now going to last 3 turns. I like this because of the melee damage boost. I really like this. And then instead of the counter, it's going to make the target ignore the first harmful physical or chakra and non-affliction skill used each turn instead of countering it, which, honestly, it's just as good. It just doesn't stop the skill like the note says, but this is a good change. I fucking love it, guys. I actually really love it. I didn't expect any changes on him, but here we go. Corrupt Chidori is now going to make the target deal 20 less non-affliction damage instead of reducing their damage in half. Dark Void is going to cost 2 random chakra instead of 1 ninjutsu and 1 random. How about you just make Corrupt Chidori cost 1 nin and 1 random and deal 40 damage? And there you go. Now he can actually use the skills without having to prep, and he's just a lot better. I think that's the issue. It costs 2 nin to do his big skill. Whatever. I didn't expect any changes on him either. Quicksand Waterfall is now going to be classified as instant, the destructible defense getting part, not the damage. Then Shield of Shikaku is going to grant 20 points of destructible defense for 3 turns instead of 15 unpierceable damage reduction for 1 turn. And the skill's duration is no longer increased by Sand Mastery, which is ridiculous. I love that they had flow with Sand Mastery, and the 20 destructible defense for 3 turns. Dude, fucking terrible change, man. I hate it. 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 Okay, look. Change it back to what it was, except make it grant 10 unpierceable damage reduction for 1 turn. And then make it increase in duration, like it used to, for every stack of Sand Mastery, but also make it grant 5 additional unpierceable damage reduction for every stack of Sand Mastery. So if you have 1 stack, it's going to grant 15. If you have 2, 20. If you got 3, 25. This should have been a no-brainer change. Get it the fuck together. Alright, it's been your balance guru, Keto. Peace.